Welcome, everyone, to the CDOs Magazine series of one-on-one interviews with CDOs, data leaders, and key influencers. I'm your host, Robert Lutton, Vice President, Sandhill Consultants, and I'm coming to you today from Toronto, Canada, working with the CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ Symposium, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers. Today, I'd like to introduce Justin Borgman, co-founder, chairman, and CEO of Starburst. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you, Robert. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's all ours. And normally when we begin these interviews, we start with a couple of background questions to get our audience a little bit more familiar with you and Starburst. So first of all, I noted in reviewing your background that you started as a software engineer. Mm-hmm. Then you went into product management. And after that, you moved into co-founding roles, first at Adapt, if I pronounce that correctly, which I believe was acquired by Teradata. And now you're chairman and CEO of Starburst. So can you tell us, for our listeners, did your early experience lead you in this direction?
Yeah, very, very much. I mean, I think, I began my career as an engineer, as you mentioned, and I think for me was very interested in building things. And I think, building a company is no different than building a product. It's exciting especially to kind of start from scratch and turn it into something. And so I was lucky enough to have the experience back in 2010 with forming my first company, which was Adapt. You pronounced that perfectly. And our idea back then was really to build a query engine for Hadoop to allow you to do sort of data warehousing style analytics, but within Hadoop, which was certainly in vogue at the time. And that experience just taught me so much about the market, the data analytics market, but also about how to operate and build a company. And many of those lessons ultimately informed my latest venture, Starburst, and hopefully learning a lot from my mistakes early on.
Well, it certainly seems that creating a successful company is no easy feat, but it seems like it's really easy for you. But I'd like, if you can, to provide a little bit more background on Starburst. I was on your website, but can you maybe for our audience just provide a little bit of background on what Starburst is and how you actually help organizations?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll start by saying it's not the candy company. That's always a big disappointment to folks. But what we provide is a data analytics platform that allows you to query data where it lives. And I think that's what really makes it unique. It's kind of like a database without storage and really allows you to do data warehousing style analytics, but on data living in a variety of places. And that could be traditional databases, Oracle, Teradata, what have you. Could be NoSQL databases like Mongo or Cassandra. And increasingly, it's data lakes. We see a lot of customers moving more and more data to the cloud, perhaps storing it in S3 in Amazon or Azure Data Lake Storage in Azure or Google Cloud Storage at Google. And regardless of where you choose to store that data, our mission is basically to provide you the fastest time to insight without caring where the data lives, without forcing you to move data around.
Oh, I can see it. We'll actually drill into that in a couple of details further on down. But can I ask, so what attracted you to? Did you actually sort of co-found Starburst, based upon your experience with Adapt? We'd be interested in what kind of led you to this particular junction for creating a Starburst or co-founding it.
Yeah, so I am a co-founder. I'm fortunate enough to have several other co-founders with me that were early engineers. Many of them were engineers even from Adapt, from that first experience. So Adapt was acquired by Teradata. As you mentioned, I became a vice president and general manager at Teradata, really focused on emerging technologies, trying to figure out the future of data warehousing analytics and what that would look like. And in so doing, actually met three individuals who were at Facebook at the time, Martine, Dane, and David, who had created an open source project called Presto. It's now changed its name it's now called Trino, what we work on. But it's an open source platform that is a query engine that allows you to deliver really fast analytics, regardless of where that data lives. And that inspired me to collaborate with them and ultimately create Starburst as the company behind this open source project moving forward. And so yes, this is very much my second startup. and lucky enough to, again, bring with me not only the experiences, knowledges we learned in the first one, but also much of the same team, which is fantastic.
Oh, it's great when you enjoy and get the chance to work with people that you had such a success on working with them first time.